Hello there, and welcome to the latest episode for How to Run Cyberpunk Red. We're going to be discussing character creation, specifically the roles that are available in Cyberpunk Red. Before we dive into that, though, obviously, first, if you're listening to this on Patreon, thank you very much for supporting me. It is greatly appreciated. If you're not listening to this on Patreon and instead listening to it on YouTube, first off, you get early access to audios like this through Patreon, so definitely sign up. Link for that will be in the link tree on my bio and in the description. Also, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified when new videos like this drop. Now, with character creation for Cyberpunk Red, each person is going to want to select a role. The roles in Cyberpunk Red are analogous to the classes that you would find in other TTRPGs like Dungeons and Dragons, for example. Now, ideally speaking, when you're setting up your Cyberpunk Red game, you would want to have between 4 to 6 players. And 4 is the minimum I would suggest running. You can potentially run with 3, but 4 is a good solid number to run with. 6 is the absolute maximum. Anything beyond that, it starts becoming a very unwieldy game because there's a lot of number crunching and a lot of dice rolls. So keeping it at a maximum of 6 is a good thing for both the players at the table and the GM so that the GM doesn't lose their sanity. Now, as far as the different roles are concerned, there are 10 roles specifically that are available in Cyberpunk Red. You have rocker boys, solos, netrunners, techs, med techs, medias, execs, lawmen, fixers, and nomads. And I'm going to be doing a deep dive into each of these roles as a separate video, but for now, just kind of give you a brief overhead of what these are. Rocker boys tend to be rebels who use performance, art, rhetoric to thumb their nose at authority and the establishment. Solos are the assassins, the bodyguards, the killers, and soldiers for hire in this sort of cyberpunk dystopia. Netrunners are the hackers who are able to access what are called net architectures and steal away the secrets that are hidden within. The techs are your mechanics and inventors. These are the people who kind of help build and keep things going in this dark future. Med techs, on the other hand, are the street doctors and cyberware medics who are proficient at patching up both your physical body and your cybernetics as well as installing them. Medias are your social influencers and reporters who try to tell the truth, or at least their version of the truth. Execs are the middle management corporate power brokers who are trying to make their way through the megacorps in the city and find some piece of that elusive success pie. Lawmen are not necessarily cops, but specifically people who try to enforce some semblance of law and order in the dystopian future. Next, you have fixers. These are information brokers, deal makers. These are the people who know people who know people who know how to get things. And then last but not least, you have the nomads, which are the transportation experts, the road warriors, the smugglers. These are the people that know how to get in and out of the cities and across the wastelands of this dystopian future. Each of these roles has what's called a role ability that is unique to them, which gives them a boost or bonuses that they can utilize fully in the cyberpunk future. So, for example, rocker boys have the role ability called charismatic impact, which is their ability to influence other people through just personality and music performance, whether it could be poetry, it could be their rhetoric, but they are able to convince people to do things for them. It's very much cult of personality. Solos have combat awareness, which is their ability to kind of tune in and be very proficient at the various forms of combat, but also giving them things like boosts to initiative, being able to deal additional damage, making it easier for them to hit people when they're having to go in for the attack. With Netrunners, you have the role ability interface, which is what controls their ability to connect mentally to a physical net architecture. With Techs, the ability they have is called Maker, which covers their ability to upgrade items, to build new items, to fabricate existing items, things like that. With MedTechs, you have the ability called Medicine, and this covers both their knowledge of how to build certain pharmaceuticals, but also how to potentially use cryogenic stasis and how to perform surgeries to heal people of grievous wounds. With medias, you have what's called credibility, which is how credible of a news source are you? When you talk about a story, who believes you? And who are people that are willing to talk to you to give you the information that you need? So that's with the role ability for medias. For execs, you have the role ability called teamwork, which is in a corporate structure, the team of individuals who work under you and the corporate benefits that you get by being part of a mega corporation. With lawman, the role ability is called backup, and this is your ability to help, or to get help, I should say, from fellow law enforcers or people who work in that type of field. So based on your rank, you can potentially call for assistance, and as you increase this rank, your backup becomes substantially more powerful. And then last but not least, when you get to fixers and nomads, with fixers, you have the role ability for operator, which explains how fixers are able to get their hands on items on the black market, but also how they can navigate the social customs of the various cultures that exist on the streets. And with nomads, you have what's called moto, which is their role ability, and that is how deep the reservoir of vehicles that are available with their nomad family or group. So as you rank up, you're able to get access to increasingly more advanced vehicles, or you're able to upgrade existing vehicles, making them more deadly. That about covers it for the roles. Next video, or we're going to be diving into the character creation process, specifically the life path and how that all works. As always, though, if you like my content here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom. If you are on Patreon, once again, thank you very much for your support. And if you're not a part of my Patreon, definitely go ahead and click the link in my bio. It will have everything you need to find my Patreon and sign up for it.